This is Out of Shape, a 3D puzzle platformer game from Freeform Studios where you play as a formless character that gains the ability to shapeshift, and you must find your way to freedom. Hello, I'm Joseph Reid and I am the lead level designer. I'm also a programmer and have created a good deal of the scripts in the game. Furthermore, I came up with a lot of the puzzles that ultimately made it in the game. Much of the level layout you see before you has been built and readjusted by me. During this last semester, I redid the level 1 layout entirely using Pro Builder and allowed our art lead to export it to Blender. Together we were able to fashion this level to something more resembling a cave. My main process in designing the levels is to frequently replay the game and pretend that I am a new player. If I come across something difficult on my end, I always assume that it might be impossible for general players, and then I attempt to either simplify the design or provide adequate feedback. For that reason, I am often able to squash problematic areas before the game even gets sent out to playtesters, although not perfectly, of course. My development process also includes coming up with puzzle and platforming ideas as I start building something rather than just staring at a plain document. That just works for me and brings the most creative side out of me. To wrap up, I enjoy my work this past semester. The whole process is fun for me and very rewarding when players enjoy playing through the game I helped to create.
Hey there, my name is Lukas Reeves and I'm a programmer for Out of Shape. I've also put some time into helping with level design and I'm responsible for the original idea of the game. Most of my time was put into making the main character and mechanics regarding what the player can do. This includes all the different ways to move around as well as the shape-shifting. Getting the physics just right took a lot of adjustments throughout many playtests, but I felt pretty good about the end product. Other than that, I did a bit of prototyping, made scripts for some of the puzzles, and helped out on level design where needed.
Christopher Collins, and I was a technical artist for Out of Shape. I made most of the assets for levels and worked with level design and programmers to make some of the visual mechanics for things like shape-shifting or the elevator lift and gate. For assets, I made the majority of the models, textures, visual effects, player design, materials, pause menu assets, and anything else you might see in the overall game. Some assets were edited to fit in the overall aesthetic along the way as well. Most of this semester involved organizing all the assets to fit a specific look, and I'm not the most organized person, but when it came to making the overall style, I chose to make everything as simple as necessary to make editing easy to understand for myself. Also, after the first playtest, I received some great feedback informing me of a post-processing effect that Unity had, which gave some necessary detail to an otherwise simplistic aesthetic.
Hi, I'm Brandon Washington, and I'm a programmer for Out of Shape at Freeform Studios. I mainly worked on the dialogue as well as the death system. I've done a bit of prototyping for the puzzles in the game. Along with that, I've had my hands in just about every script in this project, adding to them, making adjustments, or just formatting and cleaning them up where need be. That said, my main task was to make scripts where needed, making improvements and edits if at all needed, and basically debugging to make sure everything was always functional.
I'm Min Lee, and I was an artist for Out of Shape. I worked on creating mostly animation and some of the art assets. I was responsible for designing the NPCs and also animating them. I also worked on designing the trail system for the main character and adding a wind particle system to the air vents. Adding the trail system visually helped to show a sense of motion in which direction the main character was traveling.
I'm Eric Lee, and I worked on Out of Shapes as mechanics and level designer. I mainly spent most of my time designing the puzzles located throughout the game. My main thought processes going through designing them is how well they can blend together with the base game's shape-shifting mechanics, and how to blend them together to create a mix and match solution to complicated yet simple to comprehend puzzles.